Hi everyone. This time I'll talk about a participatory approach of mapping to lifestyle. The first topic is lifestyle. Lifestyle is a particular way of living, the way a person lives or a group of people live. The term lifestyle can denote the interests, opinions, behaviors, and behavioral orientations of an individual, group, or culture. This term was originally used by Australian psychologist Alfred Adler. Adler emphasized the interpretation of early memories in working with patients and school children. Adler viewed memories as expressions of private logic and as metaphors for an individual's personal philosophy of life or lifestyle. To think about the relationship between lifestyle and health, a dictionary of epidemiology is helpful. This book states about lifestyle as follows. A set of habits and customs that is influenced, modified, encouraged, or constrained by the lifelong process of socialization. These habits and customs include a use of substance such as alcohol, tobacco, tea, coffee, dietary habits, exercise, and so on, which have important implications for health and are often the subjects of epidemiological investigations. Next, I'll talk about mapping to challenge lifestyle. So far, lifestyle is complex. We are all living our lifestyle. However, we often do not have chances to reflect our own lifestyle. To assist people to reflect and to narrate about one's lifestyle, I proposed the use of map. To describe why I use map, I'll firstly show major definitions of map. First, a diagrammatic representation of the Earth's surface or part of it, showing the geographical distributions, positions, and so on of natural or artificial features such as roads, towns, relief, rainfall, and so on. Second definition is related to astronomy, a diagrammatic representation of the distribution of stars or of the surface of a celestial body, a lunar map. And the third definition is a map-like drawing of anything. I am neither a geographer nor an astronomer. I'm a public health science researcher. Therefore, I recognize map as a map-like drawing of health-related concepts, such as lifestyle, well-being, and so on. In the early 1980s, I came across the idea of concept mapping and started inquiries of map use. Next, I'll talk about concept mapping. I got the idea of concept mapping from my friend, Dr. Shinichi Matsubara, an educational technology researcher. Joseph Novak defines concept as a perceived regularity in events or objects or records of events or objects designated by a label. In a report, Novak wrote as follows. Concept maps are tools for organizing and representing knowledge. They include concepts, usually enclosed in circles or boxes of some type, and relationships between concepts or propositions, indicated by a connecting line and linking word between two concepts. Linking words on the line specify the relationship between the two concepts. In the 1980s, Dr. Matsubara was a member of Research Society, ISM, Interpretive Structure Modeling and Concept Mapping in Japan. Dr. Matsubara's teacher, Professor Takahiro Sato, conducted this society. Professor Sato was developing the educational use of ISM. I joined this society and learned about the method. In this method, a sequence of items was judged by one-to-one comparisons, which is multiply repeated until all of the items are compared using matrix, and finally, overall directed relationships are determined and visualized as a hierarchy map or chart. As I practiced this method, I realized these computer-assisted multiple comparisons is suitable to map hierarchically structured human knowledges and behaviors. However, to reflect and map human lifestyle in a face-to-face situation, more simple and interactive comparison is appropriate. In quest of simplified mapping procedure, I thought of paper chromatogram procedure, and finally thought of the idea of two-dimensional mapping. Now I'll talk about paper chromatogram as an origin of idea. Chromatography is an analytical technique of chemistry which separates the components of a mixture by differential migration. Among the chromatographic methods, paper chromatography is characterized by the choice of heterogeneous phases of the liquid type and also by the flatbed arrangement. The result of differential migration is displayed mapwise on one sheet. The following are the procedures. Step 0. Prepare the sample, a square piece of paper, and two solvent systems. Step 1. Put the sample in the form of a spot near one corner of the paper. Apply the first solvent one side of the paper. The solvent flows to one direction. As a result of development, the sample is separated into components which are apparent on a line. Next, step 2. Apply the second solvent at the right angle of the paper. The second development is carried out in the direction at a right angle to the first one. The linear arrangement of components changes into two-dimensional arrangements. Now I'll talk about transferred steps of mapping cards. Aforementioned two-steps approach of paper chromatography was transferred to card mapping on a sheet of paper. As for the theme of mapping, I focused on dietary life among multiple dimensions of lifestyle. I proceed to visualize one's unique food choice by arranging cards on which an image of particular food and its name are shown. The first step, step 0, is identify essential cards. At the beginning of mapping, essential food cards are prepared to visualize one's dietary life. When I initially developed this card mapping procedure in 1988 for a rural health promotion project at Nagasaki, Japan, I asked the following question to participants. Please indicate 7 to 10 food names important for your daily life. At that time, the following were identified as essential food name cards: rice, miso soup, tsukemono, Japanese pickles, salads, fish, meats, noodles, milk, and nishime, boiled vegetables. Then, step 1. Arrange cards along the horizontal axis. The horizontal axis can be labeled as eating frequency. Participants are requested to arrange cards on the horizontal axis. Eat infrequently and eat frequently. This step yields a one-dimensional array of cards. Making the arrangement allows participants to start reviewing their dietary habits. Then step 2. Move and arrange cards along the vertical axis. The vertical axis can be labeled as importance to one's own health. Participants are requested to move and arrange cards along the vertical axis. Not important, very important. This step yields a two-dimensional array of cards. Throughout previous steps, participants construct their food images and organize their food images as maps. Each participant accomplishes a unique map corresponding to one's unique lifestyle. In the later steps, the accomplished maps help participants to reveal, narrate, communicate, and share one's unique lifestyle with other participants. After I developed the card mapping procedure, my colleagues and I call this procedure as mental chromatogram, two-dimensional mapping, or life map. By setting different axes and different card sets, we can expand the theme of mapping to varieties of lifestyle dimension. In this example, physical activities and human relationships are shown in a new card set. The horizontal axis corresponds to favorite degree of doing, such as dislike, like very much. The vertical axis corresponds to frequency of doing, such as do infrequently and do frequently. These card set and axis settings were used to reflect the lifestyle of school children. Since I developed two-dimensional mapping in 1988, I had many chances to present about two-dimensional mapping in Japan. At these domestic conferences, my presentation was always regarded as a communicative activity in a public health setting, and only practitioners showed interest. Then a turning point came when I did a poster presentation at AERA, American Educational Research Association, held in San Francisco, California in 1992. At the conference, several delegates who came to my poster told me that your work must be based on constructivist perspective. At that time, I had not yet understood the meaning of constructivism. After this episode, I started to realize that I had been under the influence of constructivism. Our lifestyle is obviously influenced, modified, encouraged, or reconstructed by the lifelong process of socialization. Two-dimensional mapping helps people to realize our daily socialization.